This is Jay Mancini. Welcome to the channel where we keep the wheels rolling and the cash flowing. Guys, I've been getting a lot of questions, as you already know, about the dump truck business, but there's one question that I've gotten repeatedly time over time, and I feel like today was the good day to go ahead and address a video just for this one question for 2024. When is the best time to buy a dump truck? By the way, guys, I've noticed that you guys are sending in the emails requesting for us to do the dump truck business planning. And you know what, guys? I'm pretty sure we're gonna do it. But if you haven't already heard, I wanna hear from you. So make sure you send me an email, info@jmancini.com. I want to hear from you. If you want for me to do this video, we're thinking we may even do it live. That's what we're talking with the team. So if we do that, it may be to a selective few people. So make sure you send us an email. All right, so when is the best time to buy a dump truck? Well, guys, first there's 5 questions that I would ask myself to determine when is the best time to buy a dump truck. By the way, guys, stick to the end of the video. There's a bonus question I would ask myself, and I personally would not buy a dump truck without first having the answer to this question. So the first thing I would be asking myself is, do I have work lined up for the truck? So you've probably already heard me say this in other videos, but again, we're addressing one thing here. When is the best time to buy a dump truck? Well, the best time to buy a dump truck, is it in March? Is it in September? Is it at the end of the year? Is it in the summertime? Guys, really? We already know that it's just like any other business, right? We're here to do what? Generate income, right? So how do we generate income with a dump truck? Well, we have to have work lined up for the dump truck. Now, if the answer is yes, this is the next thing I'm asking myself. If I have work lined up for the dump truck, how many contacts, how many connections do I have that are gonna help me create more work or help me find more work for the dump truck? And that leads me to question number 2. Do I know how to look for work? Why? Well, just like question number 1, do we have work lined up? Well, what happens if that work that we had lined up for the dump truck, for whatever reason, let's say we had a source and that source now can no longer provide us for work? Well, the next question is, can I find work for the dump truck? Meaning, how do I go out and look for work? So that's question number 2. You need to know how to actually look for work. And by the way, we have videos on this, so I highly suggest you go and watch those videos. And what do I mean by that, guys? I mean, well, if I know how to look for work, I don't have to necessarily wait on that one source to give me work. Why? Because the more options, the better, right? Remember, this is a business at the end of the day. So now if I have more options, what that does for me, not only does that allow me to have more work, but at the same time, I can also start to determine what work is better, who pays more, and what at the end of the day will end up making more sense for me and my dump truck. One thing I tell guys is don't wait for a phone call. That's the worst thing you can do, is sit there and wait for a phone call. Guys, it's always better to have a list of contacts, have a list of what I call resources that you can call on and tell them, hey, this is so-and-so. Do you have any work for me? Whether it's a broker, whether it's contractors, right? Whether it's general contractors, you need to have this list of resources. So if that one resource that you were planning on giving you work for whatever reason that day or that week cannot give you any work or doesn't have any work for you, you have this list of contacts that you can call on and basically assure that you're gonna have work and you're not only counting on that one source. The third question I would ask myself is, do you know what type of truck is best suitable in your area? Now, what do I mean by best suitable? And we've also done a video on this, is guys, you need to know what kind of dump truck makes the most sense in your area. There's places that may be hiring mainly dump trucks that are tandems or triaxles. There's other places where they're only hiring mainly super dumps or end dump trailers. Now, this is something that you have to do on your own, do some research and do this homework, right? Because I can tell you here in the greater Houston area, there's a little bit of work for everybody, whether you have a tandem, a triaxle, a quad, a super dump, or end dump trailer. If you got enough contacts and connections in Houston, you can probably find work for any of those trucks. However, in other areas around the country, it may be different. So wherever you're located, you need to do some of this research and find out, is a tandem the best suitable? Is a triaxle? Is it a super dump? Or is it even an end dump trailer, right? So that's the third question that you need to ask yourself. That leads to the other thing. What kind of materials are you going to haul in that dump truck? Is it going to be dirt, sand, gravel, asphalt? Is it going to be all four of them, right? So this is crucial, and it goes hand in hand with what type of dump truck you're going to buy, because once you determine what kind of dump truck you're going to buy, that will also help you determine whether you're going to haul dirt, sand, gravel, asphalt, or maybe all four of them. And again, do your research and find out, hey, if I'm in this area of town or I'm in this part of the country, we haul mainly gravel, or do we haul mainly asphalt? Do we mainly haul sand, or is it dirt, or is it all of them, right? So that's something that you definitely want to do research on. Fourth question I'm asking myself, guys, do I know the rates? Do I know how much money I can expect to make in my current market? Meaning, if I'm in the greater Houston area, do I know the going rates, hourly rates? Do I know the going by the load rates? Do I know the by the ton rates, right? No matter where you're located, it's going to vary depending on what city or what state you're located, right? So this is, again, research that you got to do. You got to know the rates, right? Because if I'm buying a dump truck, before I even go into purchasing a dump truck, I need to know how much money I'm going to expect to make on a daily basis, or on a weekly basis, or on a monthly basis. Why is this so important? Well, you already know this will determine how much money you gross, how much money you can expect to make. And then, of course, that leads to the fifth question. Do you know your operating costs? Do you know what it's going to cost to operate that dump truck? Do you know what your fuel costs are going to be? Do you know what your insurance and all the other expenses that come along with owning a dump truck? Now, again, we've done videos on that as well, so make sure you check those videos out. So that's the fifth question that I'm asking myself, because once I've determined how much money I'm going to make, and now I can determine ballpark on how much operational costs I'm going to have, now I can determine how much income I'm going to net, or what I'm going to end up profiting at the end of the week, or at the end of the month, possibly even at the end of the year. All right, guys, you made it to the end of the video for the bonus question. And this is truly what I believe is the most important question. Is there a demand for the dump truck business in my city or in my town? What do I mean by that? Well, Jay, what I mean is the following. Have I done enough research to know there's enough demand for dump trucks in my area? Well, as you probably already know, in the greater Houston area, there's quite a bit of a demand here. We're one of the fastest growing cities. Now, I don't know your situation in your city, so I highly recommend that you do this research. Now, you may live in a small town. However, you may be expecting a rapid growth in your city. There may be a lot of construction coming, meaning they're going to be probably needing a lot of dump trucks, right? And you may have work for the next several years. Now, I don't know where you're located, but that is definitely one thing that I would definitely do research on. Is there a demand for the dump truck business in my city? Now, if you found this video valuable, guys, I'm going to highly recommend two videos. One of them is called 10 Unique Tactics to Market Your Dump Truck Business, and the other video is called 10 Keys to a Successful Dump Truck Business. With that being said, guys, you already know we're going to keep the wheels rolling and the cash flowing. Make sure you drop comments below, like and subscribe. This is Jay Mancini. We'll see you on the next one.